So I know everyone's excited about the Xbox Series X and the new PlayStation 5 consoles that are coming out at the end of the year. And while that's the main attraction and what gets the most attention when it comes to gaming, I do have to admit there's something that I've been dabbling with for the last week or so, and I have to admit, I've become a huge supporter of this service. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to Xbox's Project XCloud. Now, we all know that's been in beta for a little while now, and most people have been either using it or used it once and walked away. But over the last several months, and ultimately since this new year started, Xbox has been amping up its support for the service, and it's impressed me immensely. Because I'll be honest, I was one of the people that tried it for a couple of days and walked away from it. But lately, I haven't been home, and I've been able to truly test out xCloud through the beta, and I have to say, it could be one of Xbox's biggest assets leading into the next generation. So let's talk about this and see if Project XCloud could be something that changes the gaming industry forever and ultimately be Xbox's biggest weapon. But before we do that, if you liked the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. So the first thing I want to talk about is the amount of games that are attached to xCloud. It's actually extremely surprising to see just how much support there is for the platform. Now, of course, I'll jump into how it runs for me and if the service actually works as intended, but the one thing I had to be sure was that it had the content that is worth playing on it. And I have to say, it has the content down pat. I mean, I'm genuinely surprised with the amount of games they've had on the platform. Especially after the XO event, Xbox really stepped up their game by providing us with so many new additions to the service. And for the beta, all those games would have been enough for anyone that was willing to test the service out. But Microsoft isn't letting their foot off the gas at all. Instead, they've added even more games to the service, including a bunch of awesome additions in the last couple of days. Here's what the article had to say on the matter. Microsoft has expanded its lineup of Xbox One titles available under the Project XCloud preview, seemingly welcoming over a dozen new games to its streaming library. The ongoing invite-only test servers full-fledged Xbox One gaming over the cloud to mobile devices, now adding Destiny 2, Sid Meier's Civilization, various Telltale games, published titles among other existing Xbox hits. Now, those are just some of the bigger games that were added. They also had a list showcasing a bunch of the other games that joined xCloud. Here they are. As you can see, these games are pretty big additions and something that people should really keep an eye on because this shows that Xbox is taking the streaming side of gaming very seriously and they see it being a bigger hit years down the line. But for me, I think this might be something that really takes hold this coming generation, especially once the Xbox Series X launches. Because the service in just its beta has come a very long way, and the article states that when it says this. Project XCloud's initial test started back in October, since maintaining a vast library of Xbox One titles as Microsoft prepares for the scheduled 2020 public release. While currently limited to Android devices in the US, UK, and Korea, it recently resumed its Korea expansion alongside SK Telecom, sending out further invites and introducing more compatible titles. That rollout appears to have spilled west, and we've spotted several new experiences on the gaming service. Now, most people would think adding 10 more games or a dozen more games to an already robust service would be a little mild or not that big of a deal. But in reality, it's a huge deal because it shows that Xbox is in full support mode when it comes to game streaming. Not to mention it blows out all the other competition clear out of the water and almost embarrasses Google Stadia, a massive competitor to the streaming service and someone that only has around 25 to 35 games on the service, most of those being older titles. To be honest, if we were to compare the two services, it feels like Google Stadia is in beta and Project XCloud is at its launch, ready to attract all kinds of gamers. But that's not the case. Instead, we have Xbox providing us all these games to test out and give feedback on what works best with the new streaming service. I feel like they're launching this the right way and giving people ample opportunity to test the product and see if it's something they want to invest in. And after using this for a week straight every single day, I have to say I'm starting to be one of those people that is behind this service. I've enjoyed every single minute of this at my work during my lunch break and have really felt like I'm playing games straight from my Xbox. Now, of course, it isn't as sharp, and I'm not seeing all the glorious HDR and the 4K resolution I could get at my home entertainment system, but it's something that can really help me get some game time in when I have an extra 45 minutes or an hour. because that's what this is all about, playing some of your games when you aren't home and maybe want to get a daily done or complete a quest in a single player game. And while Stadia does provide to a limited amount of games, Xbox takes this a step further and really does separate themselves from all the competition. And that's why I think this truly can be the biggest weapon Xbox has in their arsenal. Of course, they have a bunch of studios and a bunch of money being invested in their ecosystem, not to mention they're going to launch what most are saying is going to be the most powerful console in the world with the Xbox Series X. But this Project XCloud is honestly something I think no one else in the industry can truly compete with, because Xbox has a massive ecosystem where a lot of developers are tied to their systems and are already developing games for Xbox. So that already puts them ahead of Google in every single facet. Then you look at Sony, who couldn't even dream to have the same infrastructure that Microsoft is able to provide the Xbox ecosystem. You put all of that together and you truly have a service that no other company can provide. And that to me is the definition of a true exclusive. A service that costs a lot of money and takes thousands upon thousands of man hours to perfect. Project XCloud could be the service that Microsoft will use to separate themselves from everyone else in the gaming industry. And now they're closing the gap even more by getting games that's already on Google Stadia. Here's what the article says. The inclusion of Destiny 2 is bound to please many early Project XCloud testers and provides yet another title already among the current Google Stadia flagships. The service also locks down Batman titles from Telltale Games alongside The Wolf Among Us, which while already on mobile hit Project XCloud with the benefits of the Xbox One ecosystem. The way this service is starting to take shape is pretty obvious. Almost every single game that's being developed on the Xbox ecosystem will work just fine on the xCloud service. Let's say you buy a game and want to play it while it's installing on your Xbox, boom, you can do that through xCloud service. You want to play a game at your friend's house on your tablet? Boom, you can do that on the xCloud service. You want to play a game while you have an hour at work? Boom, you can do that on the xCloud. It's all about keeping you connected to the Xbox platform and keeping you playing your games. Long gone are the days of having to be in a certain room on a certain device. If you choose to play outside of your house, you're more than welcome to. The freedom is truly limitless. And that to me makes everything about this Project XCloud that much more exciting. I truly want to see where this goes and what other features they have in store for us. Because after a week of using this thing, I truly think it's Xbox's biggest weapon when it comes to the next generation of gaming and actually giving people something that no other provider can, which is a streaming service that seems almost flawless. But enough about what I think. Tell me what you think about all of this. Do you think xCloud is going to be as big as people think? Do you like streaming games to a tablet or phone? Have you used xCloud a bunch to give enough feedback? Have you tried Google Stadia? Do you think all Xbox games will work on xCloud? Will you use xCloud to viably play your games? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. And also follow me on Mixer. I recently started streaming on Mixer because I find the community much more engaging and fun. So if you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and always playing games. The links will be in the description. I hope to see you guys there. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.